People are strolling on the city center's main road. Shops are decorated with lights, and everyone is busy with their respective work. Three fellows are enjoying a meal while a waiter is taking an order at another table. Suddenly, all of them hear a voice reporting for duty. Two ladies are sitting on cushioned seats. One has her shirt slightly slipped up at the back. Shin Young-ho, a man, salutes and says, "As of July 12th, to O to X." He salutes in front of the two ladies and tells them he has finished his mandatory army service. With that done, he will be reporting to both guys from now on loyalty. Both ladies, with the best body figures, have their hands on the table. He asks in confusion, "Now, are you satisfied?" Both of them giggle, and after that, it turns into laughter. He really did it. Shin Young-ho, that crazy punk. He says, "Pluck. The girls told me to do it." "No, I didn't see anyone telling me to do that. Did I?" "Oh, our Young-ho is still the same. Anyway, the girls will pay for all the drinks today. Do not say otherwise." A girl with blonde hair says, "All right." He was going to pay anyway. And the girl with long black hair laughingly says, "Oh, my. Look at how much more handsome our Young-ho got after serving in the army." He angrily swears in frustration. It has been 3 days since he finished his mandatory service in the army. He picks up a glass and holds it in his right hand. Scrumptious food is on the table. Both of the girls are amazed when the boys sit at the same table and pick up a glass. The daughters of the landlord, whom he has been friends with for a while, invited him for some drinking. The girl with short hair picks up a piece of food and says, "Our Young-ho is eating a lot. Did he eat that much bad food in the army?" "They are by Dian and by Desol." Young-ho replies, "These days, the food in the army is actually pretty good." The girls laugh and ask, "Really? You sound like you're from the Ministry of National Defense." He pours liquor into a glass. She gets worried and pushes the bottle aside. She asks, "What are you doing? Do you know that if you pour your own drink, the person in front of you will be single for the next 3 years? Don't you know that?" He asks, "Do you still believe in that superstition?" Desol, who is like a younger brother and always likes to pick a fight with him, leans on the table and asks, "Are you for real right now?" Both of them stand up and say, "Just let us pour it." She pours the drink into the glass. "It is going to overflow. Young-ho, just let your Nuna take care of you. As for this one, can't you really not have any leftovers?" The one with these unbelievable racks is her older sister, Dian. "Calm thoughts, soothing thoughts. Don't just drink right away. At least say cheers, you punk." To celebrate Young-ho's return to society, all of them cheer. He takes a sip and thinks, "I was certain that before going to the army." Both of them were absolutely dull. Dian and Desol both take a sip. There are 2 metal bins and 1 pot with water. He takes out a cigarette and lights it up. "Oh, there." Young-ho smokes as well. "Why is he not allowed to?" she asks. "Who said he can't? Can he bum her a stick as well?" He says, "Nuna, what are you talking about? You smoke now as well." "Only when I drink," she replies. Desol's birthday is just a little ahead of his. He puts a cigarette in her open mouth, her tongue slightly sticking out. "That's why you have to call me Nuna." "Of course, you have to do it," she teases. She asks for a lighter. While putting the cigarette in her mouth, he gets her drool on his fingers. "I got her drool on my hands," he mutters angrily. "Can't you bite it properly? Why are you making such a big fuss about this? Just wipe it on your clothes." "Sheesh, sorry. Don't be such a silly baka about it. Then wipe it off on my body instead." She smirks. "What?" He says, "I didn't want to wipe it off on my clothes." He knows he's a bit eccentric. He doesn't care about stuff like that. Or, Desol, curbing her body, asks, "Would you rather let me do it for you?" He thinks she's really teasing him. What does she mean by doing it herself? It's fine already. He tells himself. She asks, "Really?" and leans on his body for support. "Mina, by chance, was it here where we last met her?" Song Mina, beautiful girl, is welcomed by him. She was his girlfriend in college. They were his typical CC asterisk. It snowed on the day she visited him. He took her inside the room. Both sat at the table, and a dish for a meal was also present. Maybe that's why the visitor's room was empty. There was no one except them. She seems a bit perplexed. The curtains are pulled over the windows, making it dark. Somewhere, a man is calling someone from a telephone booth. "Sorry, Young-ho, I can't do this anymore." He puts the phone back on the stand. That was the last time he spoke with her. There are many cigarette remnants in the metal pots. Nuna asks, "Why did you have to say her name?" "A few days ago, she came to the cafe on the first floor with another man, and that's when he knew." He clenches his fist and says, "Why do you have to bring that up right now?" He is about to explode out of utter annoyance. Just then, someone opens a door. Dian appears and asks, "Why aren't both of you coming back in? I need to pee already." Now, there is a serene atmosphere in the city center. The glittering lights of the market have vanished. Why does she even drink that much when she clearly can't handle it? He carries the fainted Dian over his shoulders, and Nuna accompanies them. Nuna says, "I guess it's because this is the first time we've seen you after a long time." No. But she has to drink moderately, he sighs, as they enjoy themselves. They miss the last train home. He furiously asks, "Nuna, can't she walk at all?" She replies, "I don't think Nuna can. It's been a long time since someone carried me like this. Should we call a taxi? If this goes on, I'll collapse as well," he grumbles. She asks, "A taxi?" He says, "Isn't it better just to hold it?" She is 100% about to throw up right now. He shrieks, "No. Wait." At that moment, she asks him, "Instead, you want to stay here at a motel?" Desol brought that up. Shin Young-ho was carrying a girl on his back. He said, "It's fine. A taxi is still better than a motel. It's way cheaper." He thought. With Dian, no. With these two, is it even possible? She questioned, "Really? Is he really just going to take a taxi?" She said, "I don't think any driver will accept him, though." He questioned, "What is she talking about?" Dian, on his back, vomited on him, which terrified Shin, while Desol remained calm, crossing her arms and said, "Oh no." She finally threw up, and that's what happened. She was lying on the bed, making noises. Desol placed her foot on his head, which surprised him. She was carrying a t-shirt and asked, "What are you doing, dummy?" He looked behind and asked, "She came out early." She placed her foot continuously on his head and said, "I was lying about washing your clothes. Don't you have anything else to do?" Dian was still sleeping on the bed. He said, "You won't believe me if I say this is just a misunderstanding, right?" She, while blushing heavily, said, "Misunderstanding, my foot." As she was leaving, she said, "Anyway, Shin Young-ho, after serving in the army, you're still pathetic." He remained confused. She hung the t-shirt on a hanger and said, "I washed it clean and let it dry." While looking at her speechless, he thought, "Well, I could have done it myself." She said, "By the time we go out tomorrow, it will be dry." She chuckled and said, "As expected, your Nuna has washed your shirt." He said awkwardly, "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have made you tired." She pulled his cheeks, moved close to him, and said, "Oh my God, you haven't changed at all. You're still the same as before you went into the military." She continued pulling his cheeks and asked, "Do you think I wash it so that you feel apologetic to me?" He hesitantly said, "Thank you." She finally released his cheeks and happily said, "Good, that's it." He placed his hands on his cheeks. She sighed and said, "I think the alcohol is getting to me now. Although, you don't look the same anymore." She looked toward him and said, "It's fun to spend time like this after such a long time." By Desol's attitude never really changed. She chuckled and asked, "This reminds you of the old days, right?" He hesitantly agreed. Crossing his arms, he said, "You don't have to tell me how many times you've passed out," she said. "Before, we used to drink in your room, about 2 years ago." He entered his room, welcomed them, and saw Desol lying on the bed, reading a book, looking toward him, while Dian was using her laptop and waved at him. These two practically lived in his room. Desol said, "The fridge was empty, so I filled it with ice cream and some dumplings. I'll pass you the receipt later." Dian said, "Tell your mother to change your internet plan. It's so slow." He became angry, kicked Desol on her back, and yelled, "Get out. I'm tired because I stayed up all night yesterday." She yelled back and questioned, "Who do you think you are? Who told you that you can just kick me whenever you want? You can't even decide when to turn the air conditioner on or off." Well, at least if he didn't want to get in trouble. With these two, a bowl full of food was cooked and served. All three sat around the dining table. Desol yelled, "Oh yeah, he got the last kimchi." Shin became angry and said, "It's first come, first serve." It was more like a hideout than an apartment. He showed a piece of kimchi on his tongue and said, "If it's unfair, you should have eaten this when it was the last one." This made her angry. She asked, "Is that so?" She pulled his cheeks and said, "Did you think you'd still be able to eat it like that?" He yelled in pain, "Are you crazy?" He pulled her cheeks and asked, "Are you not letting go at all? You're going to regret this." By Desol, she shouted, "Shut up, you idiot." Both of them kept pulling each other's cheeks. He said, "Let go of me," she replied. "I will when you respect me as your older sister." He said, "Fine, older sister. Now let go first." They were still fighting, but on the other hand, Dian ate the whole bowl in an instant. Both looked toward her in shock. Dian sighed while Shin called her name and Desol asked, "Are you serious?" The bowl remained empty. Dian smiled and said, "That tasted really good. Ramen always tastes better when I eat it in Youngho's room." Both looked at her in anger. Desol asked, "You finish all of it?" Shin said. "She downed it in one go as well," Dian questioned. "Why first come, first serve, right?" She continued, "Okay, let's decide who's going to do the dishes. Let's play rock, paper, scissors." Both exchanged glances and remained speechless. Dian said, "If you don't play, you automatically lose." Shin grew up as an only child, but if he had siblings, it would be exactly like this. Thanks to them, he could still keep his eyes open. He looked at her in confusion and said, "But even you, haven't you changed more than I did?" She placed her hand on his arm. Desol suddenly hit him. He shouted in pain as she kept beating him, yelling, "Shin Youngho, you crazy fool. That's the only thing you have in your head, right?" She thought, "He's going to hit me already." He looked toward her while she placed her hand on her chest. She blushed, and there was complete silence in the room. He turned his face and blushed heavily. He placed his fist under his face and said, "Hey, your acting has improved now, right?" By Desol. She questioned, "What?" He sighed and said, "If someone else had said it, I would have been fooled 100%. He pointed his finger toward her and said, "You think you can fool me, even after all these years?" The shy act was good. "Not gonna lie. I'll give you 4 out of 5 points for that." She asked, "Did you really think it was a joke?" She took off her shirt. You looked toward her in confusion. She asked, "You still think it's a joke now?" You looked toward her, still confused. That was the first time he saw Desol's chest. She was standing there in a bikini. Right now, it wasn't the first time. He looked into her eyes. She said, "Even after this, you still think it's a joke?" Back then, she didn't think it was going to turn out like this. She looked toward Dian and said, "Well, I can't blame him, because I was always next to the monster over there." She looked toward him and asked, "What now?" She leaned on him, and he asked, "What are you going to do now?" She asked, "Do you want to do it? Or are you just going to sleep?" He looked toward her and blushed, then asked, "What do you mean?" He asked, "About what? You're just kidding now, right? Or are we just going to pretend this didn't happen?" He thought, by Desol, she can't be. He's not kidding anymore. No, this can't be true. He sighed and thought, there's no way by Desol can't be serious. Let's think about this rationally. She said, "By the way, I've learned that no one is an exception to this." She didn't say anything like that. Yuna wakes up and seems to be tired. He asks, "Did you sleep well?" She says she needs to pee. Shin and Dian look at her in rage. He says he will leave first, and Dian agrees. After opening the door, he enters and thinks, what does he do? Blaming himself. He says, "Am I crazy?" Shin Youngho. Dian Nuna was sleeping next to them. No matter how beautiful she is, that's what he gets. He accuses himself, saying, "What a crazy idiot I am." A motel building has 5 floors, 2 of which have lights on. And that's how the night ended. The next day, he got a message from Desol. He looks at the phone while taking a puff of cigarette. What the hell even happened? The mobile screen displayed a message from Shin telling her that he was afraid Dian Nuna would suddenly wake up and look for them. Desol replies, "Are you an idiot? They could have just booked another room." He furiously says, "Damn it. Why didn't I think of that?" After that, time passed by, and it was already the 23rd of August. He took a trolley bag out, dragging it by the handle, with another small hand carry placed at the support of the handle. It was hot today. He waited on the road in front of a coffee shop. He came back to his apartment a week before the start of classes. He was supposed to come here a week later. He enters a room where a lady is standing in an angry mood and a man is taking a sip from a cup of tea. The lady asks, "Youngho, when are you coming back to your apartment? Hurry up and just go. Don't interrupt our alone time." He responds, "Okay, I'll come back there tomorrow." "Oh, Youngho," the lady, Cho Yonhee, the mother of both Bai sisters, tells him, "I almost didn't recognize you." "Oh hi, Ajima," he replies. A mature man with a beard and muscular body, Bai Terong, the father of both Bai sisters, appears and tells them he's also here. Shin welcomes him and thinks he's still incredibly huge. Shin hands over a gift pack to Cho Yonhee and tells her that this is a gift from his mom. She replies, "You didn't have to. These 2 are the building owners." She asks him to pass her thanks to his mom. He agrees. In other words, they are by Desol's and by Dayun's parents. By Terong, the father of the girls, tells him, "By the way, Youngho, you punk. You used to be so puny. They must have trained you real well in the army." Of course, Aegeus, I knew you right away. I'm surely becoming a man now. I'll keep it up, he agrees. Cho Yonhee is overjoyed and says, both of you are still the same. Strangely, you're still getting along even after all this time. By Taerong and Shin pull their muscles up just to show strength. Cho asks, but how long are you going to keep doing this? It's getting weird now. Taerong lifts up Cho on his arm, and Cho asks Youngho, just drop by later, and let's all eat together. He thinks these guys are still the best. Cho tells Taerong that she has already prepared his room, just as it was before. The password is 1 to 3 for asterisk. Shin says, alright. Dian and Desol said they also prepared a present for you. Shin is perplexed at the time and asks, a present? Cho says, just go look and see what it is. Shin moves upstairs. A gift. Even after what happened. He lifts up both bags in his hands and moves upstairs. He cannot help feeling skeptical about it though. Desol asks in a text message if he doesn't want to do it, just say so. He replies, it's not like that at all. Shall we meet again and continue where we left off? Hey, by Desol. But there is no response from her side. For the next 3 days, he keeps on asking, what's up by Desol? She's been ghosting him since that day. Well, he told her that he wants to continue, but now she's ignoring him. That day, when he touched her, she was really soft and fluffy, dragging a bag on wheels. He thinks that the mood was already really good. He stops at room number 205 and says, my room. It's just the way it was before. The number 5 on the sign is still a bit faded though. He touches the lock keypad to unlock the door. Let's see, Ajima said the password was this. There will be another chance with by Desol next time. Classes will start soon anyways. The door unlocks. Since they live in the same building, they will see each other quite often. Entering the room, he thinks, Ajima said there's a present, right? He enters the room barefooted. No way. By Desol better not be messing with me again. He gets embarrassed and puts his hand over his eyes, asking, is this the present? There is a night lamp placed on the side table beside the bed. Dian asks, sorry, were you startled? He sweats in confusion and huffs. She didn't mean to surprise him. It's been a while since he saw her here. She is overjoyed. The voluptuous lady was none other than Dian Nuna. She did not mean to surprise him. She did not know he would come here right away. The issue right now is that she is telling him that while he was in the army, he was the one who occupied this room. But she is telling him now that she didn't come to get this thing back. She agrees, thinking, wait a minute, that means while he was away, on this bed right here, Nuna was using this thing. She shrieks in anger and says, Youngho, you just thought of something perverted, didn't you? He negates and says that he didn't. She says, don't lie to me. Your face says it all. He asks her to forget about it, don't think of such things. Leaning on her knees, she clenches a fist and attacks his chest, asking him to just forget what happened today. Youngho inquires, how am I supposed to forget it instantly? Does it look like I'm a computer? She angrily tells him that she doesn't know either. Don't ask me. Even so, forget it. Erase it from your mind. He requests her to leave his ear alone, as it hurts. It freaking hurts. There is a shop named Amin Young in the shopping center. She gets a message from her mom that Youngho is here. Desol gets surprised by being informed about Youngho. She thinks that guy arrived earlier than I expected. She hasn't contacted him since that day. He did send her a bunch of messages though. She blames herself for missing his message yesterday, informing her that he would arrive there tomorrow. Biting her lips in regret, she says, well, I couldn't have expected for my sister to just suddenly wake up and ruin everything. Someone suddenly grabs her from behind, asking, what are you doing, Sunbae? She is quite surprised and asks, Sola. She replies, what does she mean? She saw Desol Sunbae on the street and thought she would say hi. She asks, was she thinking about a guy? Wasn't she? She is by Sola, a 23-year-old Youngho university student and Dasol's junior. She inquires, what is he talking about? I wasn't thinking. She asked, really? Then, well, it's kind of insurance, right? She's so cute. Sola jokes. She adds, come to think of it, Youngho was just discharged not too long ago. So, are you going to sweep him right away? Desol replies, why is she teasing her when she already knows everything? She knows that Desol likes Youngho. Sola tells her, of course, I know very well. So, as your friend, I have to advise you that time is of the essence. Now then, you're worried because of your sister, aren't you? Both look at each other in confusion. They both already know that her sister also likes Youngho. She thinks Desol is a little too close. Dian Nuna says sorry to Youngho. I was a bit heavy, wasn't I? She tells him that she smelled his sweat and it kind of reminded her of the past. He thinks, well, the smell of my sweat is that strong. She requests, you'll keep this a secret, right? I mean, you're not going to tell this to others, right? She asks, Youngho, can I trust you? He replies, I don't know what I should do. She is holding some gadget and shrieks, I'm being serious. Don't joke around. He teases. As expected, Dian Nuna is the best person to tease. She's so cute when she's restless. Should I tease her more? Anyway, he was really surprised. Dian Nuna has such a racy hobby. She just got this as a gift from a friend. She hasn't used it at all. He asked, really? I think it's extremely suspicious that you emphasized you haven't used it. He teases, then, what would keep me silent about Dian Nuna's racy hobby? He asks, can you show me how to use it? She asks in confusion, what? He smiles and says, have I gone too far? Nuna, are you mad? She asks, promise me. Just this one time, okay? I'm worried and warns him. There are 3 apartments lit up above the Odia coffee shop. Youngho asks, is she serious? He thinks he was just kidding around. Dian Nuna tells him, but she has a condition. He asks in surprise, a condition? What? She requests, show her her thing. What? Dian Nuna puts her finger on his cheek. Got you again. This is the 100th time, he asks. This one again. You always like to play pranks. He then asks, is it fun? She replies, yes, it's fun. He shakes his head. Normal people aren't like this, you know? Don't people around you say anything. You can't always be playing around like this. She disagrees. I don't think so. Your friends must be very forgiving, he continues. They don't get mad at you even though you're fooling around with them day in and day out. She replies, I don't do it to other people. He looks at her in surprise as she glitters with happiness. She says, it's not fun with other people because they don't react like you do. But with you, Youngho, no matter what I do, you always take it well. Playing pranks is only fun on you. Don't you like it? He's perplexed. Because she had acted like this before, he thought this was still a prank. In an innocent way, she asks, do you still not believe me? She sees. I'm just surprised because it looks different from Dad's. He shrieks, what? The time on his phone is 1902. He says, right now it's a bit difficult if you're here. She asks, what does that mean? He thinks to himself, does he really have to explain this to? He realizes he cannot do it right now with her watching. Then, a terrifying thought crosses his mind. Is she just playing a joke on him? She says, my little puppet. Should I tell someone about this? Should I spread the rumor that you're a pervert? All right, there's still some time left. She continues, did she just laugh, as expected? Was this just a prank all along? Something so unbelievable happened right in front of him. There was only one apartment lit up in the whole building. The packs were in the back. Desol smiled happily as she saw them. She asked herself, did I overdo it? Baisiala had goaded her into it. She wants to go home already. Shin Youngho, she called aloud. After ringing the bell, she became disappointed and muttered, he's not home. There was a phone call from Desol. She seems perplexed as she stands outside the apartment, calling him. His phone is lying on the table while he is busy working out. She receives an automatic response from the operator. The person you have called is not available. Please leave a message after the beep. She is standing outside the apartment, unable to unlock the door, and he is not picking up the call. She thinks she can hear a vibration sound coming from inside. She wonders, did he go out for a smoke? She considers waiting inside until he comes back. Suddenly, there is the sound of the door unlocking. As she enters, she sees her mother and, amused, says, Mom. Her mother replies, Desol, you came. Her mother is carrying some utensils, but when Desol calls her, it distracts her, causing some of the utensils to fall. Desol bends down to pick them up and asks, what is all this? Her mother replies, Youngho sent us some abalone, so I bought a steamer and some trimming tools. Desol looks at her and says, let me carry that for you. Her mother responds, it's okay. I'm already carrying something. He is relieved. Youngho says, what? She's asking. We almost got caught. Nuna remarks, is there a reason why they shouldn't find out? She asks, is he going out with her? Is that why? What are you saying? Why didn't she move? Nuna replies, because she didn't want to. He is surprised. Dian says, Youngho. She finally got to do it with him that day. And Nuna, he has always liked her. She continues. Youngho confessed to her. She says, even before he went to the military, she has held onto these feelings for a long time. I'm sorry, Youngho, she says. I tried to do a little better, but this is harder than I thought. I'll study so I can make you feel good next time. He is surprised and asks, studying? How? She smiles, but when he looks at her, she is trembling. She says, then I'll get going. Gentle, if someone comes again like earlier, it could make you uncomfortable. It wasn't a joke this time. He asks, where are you going? She replies, I said I would study. That's why. At home, I can keep practicing, she explains. He says, since you have such a good test subject here, it would be better to try it yourself instead of watching a video. She is disappointed and asks, but what if someone comes, like earlier? There are 4 battery cells on the floor. He has removed them from the door lock. He says, now, no one can come in. She is confused and asks, it's only us, me and you? He places his hands on her shoulders for support and says, let's keep going. At that moment, she thinks about Nuna, who gathered the courage to confess to him. He wants to give her the best experience ever. There is a building with a display board that reads, Social Science Department, Arts Room. She says, excuse me, Teacher Yoon, a beautiful lady, holding a cup of coffee in her right hand, looks at the girl, Dahyun. What is the matter? She asks. Dahyun, surprised that she spoke first, asks, can I become pretty too if I wear makeup? Teacher Yoon responds, what is with her all of a sudden? Even as she says this, she doesn't seem to be fully listening. A calendar is hanging on the wall displaying the month of May. The 9th, a Monday, is marked as discharge. Dahyun looks embarrassed, and the teacher walks away, saying she wouldn't know. However, before leaving, she removes Dahyun's glasses. She observes her face and says, there's definitely something there. It would be better than not doing it at all. She continues, once a woman makes up her mind, she will do anything to get what she wants, especially for the person she likes. Dahyun recalls Teacher Yoon's words. Did she really become pretty? She texts Nuna on Kakatok. She wonders, what does Youngho think? Everyone is sitting around a round table enjoying a meal. That day, she couldn't ask him. He notices her silence and asks, why aren't you saying anything? He then adds, I sent the message. She hesitates. What if it's weird? He responds, she's pretty. She's way prettier than all the Nunas I've been hanging out with until now. She says, I don't need anything else besides you. Then she pauses. Sorry, was that too cringy? He smiles. No, I just realized you're still the same Youngho, even after going to the military. He asks happily, is that a compliment? She replies, by the way, what is it that you wanted to teach me? Teacher Shin Youngho he grins. It's something that feels really good. Student by Dahyun eagerly responds, I'm looking forward to it. He says, just do it like crazy. Don't think about anything. Don't worry about anything. Forget everything. In the kitchen, something is cooking on the stove. Desol takes a sip of the soup. She smiles. This is the flavor that Youngho likes. She gets a message from Yanni asking, Ani, where are you? Desol takes a sip of juice. She is holding a knife, preparing to cut something for cooking, when her mother informs her, we'll have to eat by ourselves. Youngho can't come because something came up. She looks confused and asks, suddenly, why did it have to be today of all days? Idiot. A study table with a chair is in the room, and some books are placed on the shelf above. That was awesome, he thinks. As expected, doing it twice in a row is exhausting. She must be tired too. But we could go one more round, right? A coach is seen appreciating a girl who won a medal in a karate competition. Because Agiasi was always so strict, she must have had to train without breaks since she was young. Even after that, Nuna and he worked out until they both collapsed. The sun is rising, he says. It's already morning. She agrees. She calls him and says, thank you for giving me an unforgettable experience. It would be great if we could do it again next time. He replies, we can just do it again. There's no reason why we can't, right? However, she hesitates and says, this somehow just happened today. And we're not even officially dating. So this kind of he interrupts, didn't we already decide to date? She looks surprised. I thought that was the case after you confessed to me yesterday. He asks, didn't you say you liked me even before I went to the military? Was I wrong? Seeing her reaction, he wonders, was I the only one thinking that? He realizes, is it because I didn't properly ask her out? Taking a deep breath, he says, if it's okay with you, I'd like us to go out. There is a coffee shop below the apartments. He thinks that 1 week has passed since he last spent time with Dian. He is shaving his beard with a razor. He gets a reminiscence. And it is finally the first day of school. He is shaving, standing, in front of the bathroom mirror. Those were the last words that she said. After completing his shave, he wonders, not yet is that a good or bad thing. He picks up his bag. He thought about it for a few days, but he couldn't come up with an answer. So he decided to stop thinking about it. He says, God, I'm ready to go. Hey, Shin Yongho, what is taking him so long? Don't tell me he's working out. First thing in the morning, someone says. He shrieks in anger. What is she saying in front of someone else's house? She's embarrassing me. She replies. What? Why? He asks. Ba Desol, is that you? She replies. Who else? Would it be? Is your facial recognition ability broken? She warns him. You didn't wash up properly. They decided to ignore the awkward thing that happened between the two of them earlier. She places her finger near his eye to get rid of the eye mucus, and somehow they made up. Both of them are moving in the corridor. He has placed his hand on her shoulder. He thinks, anyways, I'm returning to school. They'll be late. Let's hurry, she says. She asks him not to push her. He thinks he should focus on his school life. Everything is arranged in the bathroom. The present that the two sisters prepared for him was an electric toothbrush. He skipped the first lecture. It gives lesson plans that no one cares about. The market is glittering with lights. Finally, it is the semester opening party that he has been looking forward to. A sign is placed on the door, directing people to the party, MW University Political Diplomacy Department semester opening party. He has high hopes of enjoying the night. Surrounded by cute freshmen, students are sitting around the table and enjoying their meal, while Desol stands up and says, okay, it looks like everyone is here. So I'll start the semester opening party. Everyone's here. All students, including freshmen, it looks like only about 10 people came. It was over in less than 5 minutes. She says, I'm the class president of Year 1X. My name is by Desol. Everyone around her gives a round of applause. She says that if there's anything about school life they don't understand, they should feel free to contact her. He thinks this is a complete sausage party. He says that, excluding him, there are about 1 to 20 freshmen. There. A girl replies in a jolly way, you keep acting like an old-timer. He is surprised and says, that scared me, by Desol. She replies, but still, this many people is a lot. Last year, no one came. She inquires, are you disappointed? Because you wanted to meet a cute girl, but there aren't any, he replies. Do I seem like that type of guy? In a slightly defensive way? He thinks it's like a ghost town. She stands up and says, well, anyways, it's been a long time. So have fun and enjoy to your heart's content. I'm leaving. She cheers with others and says, I'm not crazy. Do they think I drink with someone way older? I should go play with my friends. He thinks, well, whatever. It's not like I came to meet a girl. He asks others, let's just have some fun. It's been a while since I got fresh air outside the military. 10 to 20 minutes pass. He is still enjoying his own company. No one is coming to sit beside him. Is it because they don't want to sit beside a returning student? A common returning student's sense of alienation. All the students were laughing aloud. Right, he knows how it feels. A cheerful girl is way better than a dull guy. He asks the fellows, let's all make a toast. Ignoring him, they are busy chuckling. He thinks, was this semester opening party always such an uncomfortable event? He got ignored. They all look happy. He doesn't think he should be here. He should go home and work out or something. He picks up his bag and moves just like that. He was about to leave. He asks, Desol, let's go together. She is busy talking to another guy. He is saying that they have to do a preliminary survey before going on the trip. He tells her he knows many decent seniors who run great guest houses. By any chance, are you busy on that day? She replies, yes, a little. He says, then, choose a day that's good for you, Desol. I'm okay with whatever day you choose, she replies. Is that so? Desol and the guy are talking and moving forward, while Yongho is following them. He thinks, he's the guy who kept pestering Desol when we got here. That's Tae-seok from year 2. That guy used to act like that toward younger students all the time, and he's still doing it. He asks, didn't you have a lot of interest in managing a guest house? The guy puts a hand around his shoulder and says, isn't this a good opportunity to get to know your seniors? She replies, that's true. But no matter how much you think about it, it still feels a little weird. Yongho says, going on a trip with a man alone, you mean? She says that if they all go together, then it's fine. But if not, he replies, so that was the problem? He grabs her hand and says, that's a really simple one. If you feel burdened going alone with us. You know my friends Chang-sik and Tyson, right? Grabbing her hand, he asks if they come along. Is that okay? She looks scared. Then, if there are 4 people, there's no problem, right? Excuse me for a moment. Yongho appears and gently takes Dasol's hand away from the guy. She asks in surprise, Yongho? He replies, "It's been a while, Sunbae. About that trip, can I join too?" MW University Political Diplomacy Department semester opening party. Young-ho cuddles her. Desol asks, "Shouldn't we stop them, Sunbae? Let them be. It could be fun. If it gets serious, I'll step in." The other replies. Tae-seok asks, "What's wrong with you?" Young-ho, he replies, "I heard you say something about a preliminary survey. We're in the same major, can't I participate too?" Tae-seok responds, "You're really bad at reading the atmosphere. Just go your way before I get really mad, alright." Young-ho replies, "I can't do that though." He puts his hand on her head and says, "First off, I'm her boyfriend." Tae-seok is surprised and asks, "What?" Young-ho continues, "And right now, you're flirting with my girlfriend." Desol laughs while sitting in the corner. Tae-seok says, "Seriously, this guy is talking nonsense. I'm not stupid. Stay together for a long time, then." Young-ho replies, "Please, just go and do your survey." Tae-seok says, "Who's the one who can't read the atmosphere? Why would I flirt in a place full of people?" Young-ho asks, "Are you alright?" by Desol. She puts her hands together and tears roll down. He asks, "Were you startled?" Desol chuckles and says, "She knew it. He's the best." The semester opening party ended and they went home. Both moved out of the party and were on the road. Young-ho said, "Screw that guy. He should have just gone home quietly. He made a fuss till the end." To explain everything, he says, "Sorry about earlier." Young-ho offers, "Drink this." After taking a sip, the guy spits out the drink and laughs, saying, "Just try and make Desol cry. If you do, I'll mess you up worse than now." The guy says, "I loved her, Desol." She asks, "Did you come back just to say this? Are you crazy?" "Well, that's what happened." Young-ho says, "If I see him next time, I won't call him Sunbae anymore." She replies, "Haven't. I already told you to just forget about it. You humiliated him enough. He's embarrassed. He probably won't come to any future events." That's true. She held it in. She surprisingly asks, "What?" He replies, "What?" He knows this about her. In the old days, when she got upset, she used to even destroy tables, and if they didn't break, she would carry them. A liquor bottle or whatever she used to crush them all. To be honest, he was looking forward to her exploding. She replies, furiously, "Stop making things up. The table thing was a mistake I made when I was drunk. Also, the table broke because it was old, and I'm not like that. It's a party I tried hard to set up. It would have been a shame if the mood got messed up. You know, I'm the class president. I held it in because the others were there." He laughs. "Class president," she brags. "Even if you didn't step in, I would have been able to deal with it myself." He asks, "Is that so? But still, thank you. I didn't know what to do, but you stepped in and helped me." Thanks to her, he feels at ease. He says, "If you're thankful, shouldn't you repay me with something?" She inquires what. She gave him the electric toothbrush. It was really expensive. Since it has come to this, he jokes that he's thankful for money. Thus, the semester opening party where they talked a lot and faced many problems ended. They're here already. He asks her to go in first. He'll have a smoke before going home. She calls him and asks, "Before you go, there's something I want to ask you." He inquires in confusion. "What is it?" "A while ago at the gathering, when you said that I was your girlfriend and you were my boyfriend, did you really mean it?" He replies, "Isn't that obvious? Of course, I meant it. I'm your male friend, so that makes me a boyfriend. Why are you asking that so seriously? Is it because the others teased you about us being a couple earlier? If it's about that, then don't worry. We can just tell them that we broke up after a few days. Whether we say we broke up or that we got tired of each other, she'll just have." He puts down the cigarette. She says, "What if I don't want to break up? What will you do then?" He is taking a shower and thinks, "What the hell was that earlier by Desol?" He wonders, if I said I'd like to continue being her boyfriend, what would she do? She grabs him and chuckles. "Why are you thinking so hard about it? I was just kidding. You teased me earlier, so I thought I'd do the same. Did your heart flutter? Wow, by the way, you still smell really bad. Like fish sauce. It's mixed with different scents, so it's really weird. I'll head in first. See you later." He agrees and thinks, "But is it normal to kiss someone like that?" She asks, "Would you do it if it was yours?" He rubs shampoo on his head and thinks, it is a precious first kiss, after all. He asks, "Sorry, but how did you get in?" She says, "I just opened the door and came in normally." He replies, "I changed the passcode, so how?" She says, "Sorry, but to do what?" He responds, "What else? Wait, do you think I hate being with you that much? Is that why you're asking?" She asks, Do you not see me as a woman? He angrily replies, I do want to be with you. A notice is displayed at the entrance of the room. Dayun's room. Please knock. She is lying on the bed, using her cell phone. She is looking at old memories. She puts her phone aside and falls asleep. Desol says, she will talk with Yongho today. She didn't forget her promise, right? Whatever the outcome is, don't hold a grudge. The curtain has covered half of the window. Desol is sitting on the bed, and Yongho is wiping water from his face with a towel. He asks, are you still mad? She replies, I'm not. He apologizes and says, I said I'm sorry. Really? He adds, I usually think things through, but it just felt really nice when you held on. So without thinking, she cuts him off angrily. I got it already. Stop talking about it. You're embarrassing me. He thinks she's mad. Well then, let's say she's not mad. He asks, can I ask you one thing? She agrees. What you said in the bathroom earlier about it being a precious first kiss of. It wasn't me, is that what you really think? She replies, what do you think it is? What do you mean? He responds with frustration. You know what I mean. She says, I don't. If you don't tell me clearly, I won't understand. He says, so what I'm asking is, do you like me? She replies, I do like you. She continues, for a long time. Even when I was dating Mina, I always liked you. He looks puzzled and asks, what? She answers, it's weird, right? The one who introduced Mina to you was me. Does she like him? She replies that she does. For a long time, even when she went out with Mina, she always liked him. He is puzzled and asks, what? She replies, it's weird, right? The one who introduced Mina to you was me. 3 years ago. The city center is beautifully decorated. There's an exit signboard, and at the door, Desol is standing. She texts Yongho saying that she has something to say and asks him to come to the back of the bar for a while. She is busy on her phone. Yongho arrives, amazed. She asks, you're already here? He says, I thought you were pulling a prank on me like last time. I almost ignored your message, she says. That was fast. I thought you'd take a while. He replies, I was about to go to the bathroom, but I saw your message. So I came right away. He asks, what do you want to talk about? You even called me to a place like this. I bet there's a problem with the upperclassmen. Again, you warned me to shield you from them, right? She denies it. It's not that. He asks, did you cry? She replies, what are you saying? Why would I cry? Don't talk nonsense and just follow me. There's someone waiting for you. He asks in confusion, there is, Song Mina? He asks, why is Mina here? She explains, whenever you looked at her, you always called her cute. So I asked her. And it seems like Mina is a bit interested in you too. I asked her to meet you. He's blazing with embarrassment. She did. She teases. What's with your expression? It's disgusting. He replies, it's just out of respect. She pats him and says, good luck. But don't come to me when you immediately get dumped. He thanks her. He moves away with Mina. Desol calls him back and says, we'll keep on being friends, right? He replies, of course. Friends for life. Then don't tell him since then. He asks, why didn't you tell me? She says she had her reasons. She wanted to tell him, but she couldn't. The her of that time didn't have it. She lays down on the bed and says, I didn't have the courage to rush in without worrying. I didn't have the courage to be honest with you either. But getting all the feelings I've kept inside off my chest is so refreshing. Anyways, she asks, what are you doing? He's holding her hand. She says, that's not what I'm asking. What are you doing all of a sudden? He says, when you openly confessed your feelings earlier, you were really cute. She responds, we already worked out enough earlier. I think that's enough for today. She adds, also I'm not someone who does things just because someone else wants to. So if you want to do something more, wait until I want to as well. Upon entering the school, there was a display card outside the classroom labeled, Department of Political Diplomacy. Inside, Yongho was lying on the couch, a cold drink resting on the side table. As he relaxed, he heard a voice. Hello? Person who got kicked out by the upperclassmen. It was Desol. She walked over and casually picked up the cold drink. He sighed. Someone told you? I heard everything. She replied with a teasing tone. Every time you helped with the festival prep, you apparently caused trouble. So they kicked you out. Yongho sat up, frowning. I didn't cause trouble. There were just too many people, so I came here to rest. She raised an eyebrow, smirking, right, breaking 3 signs while helping with carpentry, and then smashing to direction boards while painting them. Sure, no trouble at all. She laughed. Seriously, Yongho, you work like you've got a loose screw. What are you even good at? He sat up straighter. Hey, I am good at things I'm good at. Oh, is that so? What exactly are you good at? She asked, crossing her arms. He opened his mouth to answer, then hesitated. On the floor, there was a workout pack. One was open and clearly used. The other two were still sealed. The night before, Youngho and Desol had worked out all night, without taking a single break. Now, the sun was shining through the curtains, bright and warm. He yawned and stretched. It's already morning. Still groggy, he sat up in bed. Time flies so fast. When did we even fall asleep yesterday? As he rubbed his eyes, he noticed something on the side table. A folded letter. On it, a small sticky note read, "Read this when you wake up." Desol, he blinked, surprised. She's not here. The room was quiet. Desol was already gone. Youngho stands up from bed. He seems to be worried. A letter. The shower is running. Did he sleep well? Youngho, good morning. Desol is perspiring. He was startled because she was not there in the morning, right? When he woke up, she wanted to greet him and tell him things he could not. But in the end, she did not have the courage to do that. So she is leaving him a letter. What she is going to tell him right now is something that she has always wanted to say. It is about them, her sister's confession. She likes Youngho. A girl is startled to see Desol in the library. She told him that 3 years ago in the summer. The girl asks Desol, "What about you?" She had a scary experience when she was young. She is a bit worried. And aside from dad, she did not trust men. Is that so? She says. She sees, but she told her that she liked Youngho. That is good, she says. She thinks Youngho has some interest in her too. The girl replied, but still, are you okay with it? Even if she dates Youngho, are you really okay with it? She grabs the shirt of Desol from behind and says, you don't like that, right? I don't like it either, as fighting, I mean. She says that since it has come to this, why don't they do it this way? There are 2 pairs of shoes in the cupboard. She asks, where is Dian? Her mother says, Dian, she went out early in the morning. She even put on perfume, which is something she doesn't normally do. So I guess something good happened to her. Do you know anything, Desol? She says, well, I bet she went out to meet some guy. She said she even put on perfume. Her mother asks, really? Does she have a boyfriend since they were young? Her sister and she really got along well. Other sisters often fought a lot, but they were different. There is someone with a dagger in hand, trying to attack a girl. Her sister has always cared for her. The girl calls Desol. The attacker is trying to harm the girl with the dagger, and the girl is resisting. Desol, don't come here. It's dangerous, and she always protected her. She asks Desol to run away. Desol rushes away to the police station. Mother and father speak. Dian, Desol. There was a guy who was after our daughters, but luckily, some citizens who passed by helped, so nothing serious happened. Desol is weeping loudly. She is okay. Yanni is okay. She is fine. She pats Desol and says, so don't cry. Her sister told her not to cry. Desol says, I'm sorry, Yanni. It's because of me. Sorry. After that day, she never trusted any man again. That is why she was surprised when she told her that she liked Youngho. Desol asks, what? And this is what she told her. They both said they should give up on Youngho. Yanni says that if Youngho does not want to continue with either of them, there is nothing to make the others upset, right? She replies, it's okay. Desol is amazed and asks, is it really okay? If she wants to be with Youngho, she is fine. It is fine. Yanni says that, to be honest, she has thought about it carefully for the past few days. She has thought about the exact feelings she holds for Youngho, what those feelings really are. She does not know if it is an I like you as a friend, or if it is the feeling of wanting to be a couple with him. Yanni inquires, Desol, which of these 2 apply to you? She wonders and says, I never thought about it before until I heard those words. The feeling she has for Youngho, she knew for sure that among all the people she had met, they got along well, and being beside him was fun and made her happy. However, even though that is true, can she call that feeling love? Yanni says, it's a bit different, right? She does like Youngho, Desol says, but love is something like this, right? You want to hold hands, you want to kiss. I'm not, Yanni says, right? It was the same for me. I do like Youngho, Desol says, but I've never really thought about those things, I guess. Yanni puts a hand on her shoulder and says that it could be that those feelings are just like the ones she has between friends. If it's not that, it could be that these feelings she has for someone could evolve into love. So, Desol is still texting someone before the feelings that one of them has grown stronger and destroy the relationship between the 3 of them. Mina is standing nearby. Why don't they sort it out beforehand? Yongho and Mina chuckle about the feelings they hold toward Yongho, the so-called sprout of love. A month after that, Desol carries something in a wrapped cloth and walks toward the apartment. First, to tell her the conclusion of the choice that she and her sister made back then. Shin Yongho, he likes stir-fried sausage, right? That was right. Desol says, hey, idiot couple, don't stick too close to each other. She was still close to Yongho and Mina when they were a couple. Yongho and Mina are enjoying a bath in a swimming pool, while Desol, standing with her sister outside. The pool is splashing water at Yongho with the help of a water gun. And sometimes, the four of them would even go on trips together. Her sister was right. As expected, the feelings they had for Yongho were not those of love. If she had misunderstood those feelings and confessed to Yongho, she would try to enter the passcode for the apartment and thinks that she probably wouldn't be having so much fun. A signboard for the bus stop Hansimching and the schedule is displayed. Desol peeks at her phone. It seems she has forgotten something. She looks at her reflection in the phone mirror and asks herself, this should be all right, right? It's still 4 o'clock. Did she rush out unnecessarily? She wonders if he has read the letter yet. She looks at the bus approaching. An item of clothing is lying on the floor. There is a call from Desol. The voice message plays. Desol is calling. The person cannot come to the phone. Please leave a message. She asks, he's not picking up again? Desol replies, yes. She says, I guess he's in the middle of a date anyway. They're always together nowadays. She wanted to buy them something, made sense. Since she got a large amount of money. Desol asks, should we just find something really expensive and bother them with photos after? The girl responds, date? Honey, what? She is amazed. Desol asks, is something wrong? The girl replies in confusion. What? Desol says, you've been spacing out a lot lately, so I'm asking if something's wrong. She replies, it's nothing. I'm just a little tired, and she chuckles. She asks, anyway, should we go out? I don't think Yongho and Mina will come today. Should we eat something delicious, just the two of us, and send them a lot of pictures after? She joins Desol, and they move out of the room. Desol says, let's do that. Yongho and Mina have been going out for 3 months. The time the sisters spend together has gotten longer. Desol lies on the bed, busy on her phone, while Ani is doing something on the laptop. Now, both sisters are busy choosing cell phones. Desol lies on the floor, and Ani lies on the bed. The room where they used to have fun is now empty. The time when they used to gather together slowly disappeared. It was a place they couldn't return to anymore. Desol is standing in front of the apartment, thinking about past memories. She knew she had to make up her mind to accept it. Ani calls out to Desol, and she is surprised to see her. Ani asks, those two are spending too much time together, right? They could have already known. Desol asks Ani, can I ask you something? She agrees. When we said we would give up together at that time, that stupid choice we made back then, do you regret it? What do you think the outcome would have been? Ani replies, I don't know. And you? She answers, I don't really know either. She had almost vaguely believed that it wasn't meant to be. Desol is angry and confused to see Mina kissing Yongho. He asks her, why are you like this all of a sudden? She replies, because you're cute from the experience of that time. Mina asks, why is there a rule that says I can't kiss my boyfriend's cheek? He denies it, even though it bothered her, even though it was a painful experience. There was one thing she learned for sure. Her drink falls on the floor. She moves away. A person's feelings, no matter how much they want to, no matter how much they wish to, they can't just get rid of them. A bus approaches the bus stop. Actually, she was really happy. Looking at her phone, she is overjoyed and says, it took pretty long coming all the way here. When she heard that he and Mina broke up, she asked Ani, did you prepare yourself? Well, she may sound superstitious, but it felt like the heavens gave them another chance. 2 rings in a box were on display. Couple rings. A chance to take care of the feelings they couldn't sort out back then. Yongho takes a puff of a cigarette while reading a paper. After that, the letter continues like this. He puts the ashes in the ashtray. Whatever decision he makes after this, the confession of the sisters, who wanted to open their hearts to him the day is sunny. He is sitting on a chair under an umbrella. Both of them wanted to be with him, but neither wanted to give up first. Thank you for reading the letter. Yongho, no matter what decision you make from now on, the sisters will accept it modestly. If you happen to have even a bit of a romantic feeling toward one of us, please come out today in the evening at 7 o'clock. If you chose me, come to the park entrance in front of the station. If you chose my sister, Come to the sky garden on the rooftop of the school. Bye. He is perplexed and says, the situation is giving me a headache. This is truly a problematic situation. He's standing in the middle of the path. To his left is option A, and to his right is option B. If he simply looks at the conditions the sisters gave him, please choose A or B, it might seem like a straightforward decision, but in reality, they're forcing him into making an impossible choice. The right side is Desol, the left side is Dian. Whichever he chooses, he's essentially being asked to throw someone away. To sum it up, it means this: regardless of whom he chooses, the other person will definitely be hurt. It's a terrible outcome. But looking deeper into the contents of their letter, the sisters' real intention is likely the opposite of what it appears. They're willing to bear the pain and hope that the other sister can be happy. It's a kind of twisted kindness. He scans his transportation card, crossing an obstacle, and says, in any case, really, they're both stuck in the past. There was also a moment like this where he had to make a similarly complicated decision. He stands between two girls. Strawberries lie on the table. He asks, what should we do? On Desol's birthday, they had a small cake they bought using a gift card. Desol says, okay, I thank Sola and send her a proof shot. So what do we do now? He replies, what else? Let's cut it into 3 equal parts. She retorts, are you an idiot? How are we supposed to cut it into 3 equal parts? The story began with how they would fairly divide a cake between 3 people. There were 9 strawberries and 3 people. They thought of dividing the cake into 9 equal slices, so each person could get 3 pieces. Desol objects, then there will only be cake and no cream in the center. Plus, some pieces have cream on both sides, and some only on one. How is that fair? He admits. Now that I think about it, you're right. I thought it was simple. But it's not. She replies, right? The other sister shows up and says, how about this? I saw it online. The first person cuts the cake, and the second person gets to choose their piece first. That way, she explains, the cutter will try their best to divide it fairly since they won't get to pick first. She asks, wouldn't that be fair? Desol argues, wouldn't the person choosing end up profiting? They don't have the pressure of cutting it fairly, and they get to pick the bigger piece. He replies, but there's a chance the chooser might go for the smaller piece too. Desol says, either way, someone definitely loses. Her sister sighs. Why are you guys being so serious? They spent hours thinking about it, but they couldn't come up with a solution that satisfied everyone. He reflects, well, it's just a story, a dreamlike story where everyone could be happy. Then, suddenly he pauses. Dian is carrying a towel to help wipe his hands. Desol sits beside him. He has an idea. He says, wait, back then, I learned something. Dian is surprised to see Yongho at the rooftop. He smiles and says, you waited a long time, didn't you? He realizes, if he can't find an answer that satisfies everyone, he can at least find an answer that persuades everyone. It's now 8 p.m. Desol is still waiting behind a convenience store, leaning against the wall. She says quietly, I knew it. He chose Dian Ani. She wonders, should I go back? What do? I don't want to go home right away. She walks aimlessly. Part of her wants to drink. Another part just wants to cry into a pillow. Really? What is wrong with me? Even though she told herself she would stay cool, that she would accept the outcome with grace, she already knew. Maybe deep down, she always knew. Ani and Yongho are laughing and smiling. If Dian hadn't given up on Yongho, because of her they would probably already be dating. Desol carries a small carton and thinks they must be dating now. She tries to stay positive. 2 out of 3 people are happy, so isn't that a happy ending? She walks with open hands and says, let's not worry. Let's just think about what to do from now on. A 101 coin drops from her pocket. She bends down to pick it up. From now on, let's leave things up to luck. She thinks if it's heads, she'll go to a bar alone and drink until she collapses. If it's tails, she'll go home and cry in her blanket. She flips the coin in the air and wonders, what will it be? She secretly hopes for tails. She doesn't have much money anyway. Then, suddenly, a voice. What are you doing? Crouched down like this. Did you drop something? She looks up. Yongho, he replies. Why else? You asked me to choose, didn't you? She stares at him, stunned. They share a moment. He pulls her close and kisses her. Passersby glance in surprise. But she doesn't care. She, too, had asked. What decision will you make? From behind, Ani appears. He turns to both of them and says, this is the answer I came up with. A week has passed since that day. He is sleeping on the bed. Suddenly, he wakes up and sees that there is a girl in front of him. And he asks, who is she? She is Desol. She asks if he is alive. Yongho. She says that she thought he was dead since he did not show up even after the meeting time had passed. He shrieks in anger, saying that it is past the meeting time. I set an alarm though. He checks his phone, which is dead, and the charger is unplugged. He says that is weird, he could have sworn he plugged it into the charger yesterday. He calms her, saying, by Desol, calm down for a second. She becomes happy and says that it is fine. It is obvious. Wait a second. Who is responsible anyway? Dian is sleeping beside him. Desol is angry, and she pulls off the comforter from them. After seeing her sister, she is too angry and says, as she thought. Yongho is also shocked. He says that he is sure she left, saying she was going back home yesterday. Desol says that it is obvious he is not sleeping, so hurry and get up, sister. And that is right, this is the conclusion that he and the sisters came to. Dian is sitting on the bench, and Desol is standing in front of him on the street. He says that he would date both of them. He will date both sisters until they reach a satisfactory conclusion. Desol is surprised and asks, what? He says that for him, he does not want to lose either of them. Both you and Dian. Desol is angry, and she asks if he understands what he is saying right now. Dating both of them at the same time? He confronts her, asking why. There is no law saying he cannot date both of them, right? It is just dating, not marriage. A heavy day for all of them until one party gets exhausted. They will try various things. Whether it is love or a separation, they all will grow together, drink together, act like crazy people, and laugh while getting snacks. He thinks it is much better than losing their relationship. He asks her, how about her? She replies, she is Am. Then her sister grabs her from behind. Dian says that she thinks it is a good idea, doing this together rather than losing their current bonds. She asks, doesn't she like it? Desol, sister, it hurts. He is out there drinking water when he sees that both of them are fighting in the room. Desol says that they agreed on fair play. So what is this, anyway? The three of them started dating. The deadline is until he graduates. Desol furiously asks what makes him think he can laugh. She angrily tells him that he is a problem too. She says her sister is always taking advantage of him because he is so defenseless. He is supposed to be with her today. He asks, what did she say just now? He is whose? He asks her. He could not hear her well. One more time. She says, her person. She pushes him onto the bed and places her hand on his chest, saying that she said he is hers. He had been spending time with her sister last night. He laughingly asks if they woke her up. The amount of time he spent with her sister last night, he is now spending with her. Her sister is there. She says that she has not left yet. She'll get going now, then. When she's leaving, Desol calls her and says that from now on, let us do it right. She says she knows and leaves the apartment. She asks, what about their date? He replies, what date? Is what they are doing right now not a date? She curses him, saying, you piece of crap, even though she told him that she wanted to go there on a date for days. He says that all she thinks about is working out. He is joking he will go. He wears his shirt and says that she got on top of him just now too. But didn't she want to work out as well? She replies, as if, you wish. She was just acting to chase her sister out. She turns away, saying that if he doesn't want to go on a date, then just say so. He replies that that's not it, they're going. She says that she understands. Desol is overjoyed and stands on her feet, whispering in his ear that if he does well on their date today, she'll reward him with something special. He asks, whatever I want. What do you mean by that? How? She replies that she doesn't know if he's curious, then do well on the date. He follows her to leave the apartment. She asked if he packed his wallet. He says that he forgot. If he were to be honest, he is not sure even to this day if the decision they made that day was the right one or not. He is worried, looking for his wallet, but there is one thing he is certain of. All of them are around the table, having a cake cut into 4 pieces. He says that the person who wins rock, paper, scissors is supposed to eat, but how come he can't eat anything? Dian laughs, and Desol says that life is not fair. Watch him, he'll eat the remaining 3. There are no cakes left for them to eat today. The decision he made that day, he doesn't regret it. He asks, then shall we go? She replies, sure. What's next? He tells her that he doesn't have a lot of money, they should have barbecue for lunch. She replies, that she'll consider it if he's buying. She'll have to see for herself. Mina is scrolling through Instagram when she sees a photo where the guy, Yongho, and Desol are seen together. There are 36 likes on the photo, and the caption is, students that go to our school are kind of cool. She is surprised and asks, Yongho? 10 days after the new relationship with the sisters started, he thought this strange relationship between the three of them would be filled with a lot of problems and nagging. He is sitting in a mess hall where he and the others are enjoying lunch. Surprisingly, the relationship is going smoothly. He is eating spaghetti and says, "This addicting taste of ramen." He thinks, well, it is probably thanks to the rules that the sisters made. Before they started the relationship, the three of them stopped. Desol says, "Let them start this by deciding on the rules." He is surprised and asks, "Rules?" She says they made a few rules. Desol says that even if they are dating at the same time, doesn't he think she and Ani are going to have awkward schedules and create uncomfortable situations? She asks, "Is he comfortable? Is that uncomfortable for him? Is that uncomfortable?" He mockingly replies that the three of them will play together. After listening to his reply, both of them are confused and disappointed. He calms them down, saying, he's joking. The very first rule they made was to divide the time. Well, it is neither difficult nor complicated. It was not hard or complicated. He imagines that he is sitting in the middle, has to spend 2 days with Ani and 2 days with Desol. The sisters wanted to share him every 2 days a week. He wants to clarify the situation, so he asks a question. What about the remaining 3 days then? Dian replies that for the time being, it will be free and rest time. But if he wanted to hang out with her, she would have no reason to refuse. He happily agrees. Desol becomes mad and shrieks at her. Well, as for the other rules, they are to not disturb each other during the agreed time, and until he has chosen one of the two. They decided to keep this relationship a secret, eating the spaghetti with the help of chopsticks. He thinks that it is a bit different from what he had imagined. Ani comes there and asks, what's different? Now that he has returned to school, is he sad that reality is different from what he imagined? He is amazed to see her, and he stands up from the table, speaking her name. He angrily asks, why is she here? Shouldn't she be at work? She replies that that's true. But then, why is she here? She asks. Why is he asking? Something so obvious showing her card. She says she is here because this is where she works. He is surprised and asks, what? She had kept quiet because she wanted to surprise him when they met at school. She replies, yes. He mockingly asks, why on earth? It's been a month since he came back to school, such patience. She says, why? He asks again. She replies that he would be more excited that way. She grabs his hand in both her fists and says that she wanted it to be more memorable for him. Then she kisses his hand. I become furiously mad and say, why are you doing this all of a sudden? Nuna, what if someone sees? She replies, it doesn't matter, does it? He replies, embarrassed. No, I like it. She chuckles and says, then everything's fine. Since that day, Dian Nuna has been different from what she used to be. He feels like the shyness she once had is gone. She's become more confident, even bold. He wonders, why on earth did she change like this? She says, all right, if that's how you want it, I'll do it like that. She adds, it's not like I lost to Desol anyway, he thinks. Come to think of it, nothing particularly special happened. She asks for permission to leave as her lunch break is over. He's caught off guard again when she stands up. He thinks, now that he looks closely, it seems like her skirt has gotten shorter recently. As she walks away, she says, I'll see you later, Youngho. Then she adds teasingly, no, not just later, see you tomorrow. She playfully asks, do you like it better when I say it like that? Then she leaves. He thinks, as expected, this isn't a dream. Dating Dian is very different from the tomboyish by Desol. To think that he gets to date the beautiful Dian Nuna this year might be his luckiest. To boys at his table start whispering. One says, that woman is so beautiful. She looks like a staff member. She's seriously pretty. The other replies, idiot. She's not just pretty. She's a piece of art, especially that mid part. They whisper about Youngho, asking, is that guy her boyfriend? The other one says, no way. They don't even look like a couple. From what I heard, he's just her younger brother. One of them says he'll find out where she works and try hitting on her later. The other asks, do you really think you can win her over? Youngho gets angry hearing them talk like that. Dayun's ID card falls on the ground, and she's embarrassed as she picks it up. Youngho asks, how many times has that happened? Is it defective? She's startled to see him standing behind her. He says, come with me, Nuna. He holds her hand tightly, then leads her out of the hall. Everyone is surprised to see them leave together. He takes her to lecture room 901 and gently guides her toward the whiteboard. At the front of the room, she asks, Youngho, he says, Nuna, do you know your skirt was riding up just now? She replies, really? I didn't notice. He says he saw people looking at her, and she seemed unaware. He hugs her and says, "Nuna, you're mine." She hugs him back and softly reminds him, "We're at school." She gently reminds him that they're at school. He replies, "It's lunch break anyway." Nuna asks him to calm down. She adds that no one is coming to the hall today, it'll be empty for the rest of the day. After the lunch break, he asks, "Nuna, do you know, every time I meet you, I just want to be close to you. But I'm afraid you'll think I'm strange for feeling that way all the time. You know how hard it is not being able to say it first." He continues, "Anyway, you're the one who gets me all riled up in the first place. You should take responsibility for what happens after." He sets his cap down on the table and says, "I feel really strange. Don't make that cute face in front of others from now on. I don't want other guys to get the wrong idea when they see you." She smiles, hugs him, and holds him tightly with affection. Dian places a hand on Yongho's chest from behind at the back of the dance hall. She asks, "What did you say just now?" She's holding a register with the bag slung over her shoulder. He thinks that he wouldn't have to worry if she were. Still the same awkward Nuna from the past, but now Nuna can turn heads with just a smile. He tells himself that he wants her to only think of him, not anyone else. If he were still the old version of himself, he wouldn't have stood a chance with her. But now he feels confident he won't lose. She gently holds his face with love. Then she asks, "Why have you been so out of it this whole day? Is it boring going on a date with me? Odia coffee shop is open." Yongho thinks that by Desol should stop being so mad. He says that he told her he is not bored, the cafe atmosphere is too great, and he bought her the black sugar milk tea that she wanted. She asks, does he think she is a little girl? Does he think she will feel better if he buys her stuff like this? She is happy to taste this. She overjoys and says that it is good. It is good. This is really good. Thinks that she is not mad anymore. She says, "Well, anyway, what was he thinking about that had him so distracted the entire day? Did something happen at school?" He says he sees and he thinks about that he was working out with Nuna. She tells him that she is going home. If he did not like their date, he should have said something, he just kept spacing out. She stands up and walks away. He angrily justifies that is not it. Wait up, by Desol. She is in the gaming area and tries to pick up a teddy bear with the help of a hand lifter. The grip gets loose and the teddy bear falls down in the box. She angrily says, "What is wrong with this? Why would it fall down when she literally caught it?" She determines that she will catch one today. She asks Shin to give her another $5. He takes out money from his wallet and says, "Miss, by Desol, shouldn't you start to wrap it up?" He thinks it's made so that she wouldn't get a single doll even if she tries all day. And it's almost time for their movie. She says that she doesn't want to, though. "Mr. Shin Yongho," she says, "didn't he say he would listen to a wish of hers so that she feels better?" And she said that she wanted a doll from the crane machine. He didn't think she would spend $10 on it. He says that he will just buy her one. She denies. He asks for the reason. She says that they came all the way here, but if she were to quit now, wouldn't that be such a waste of her efforts? And more importantly, she would not be able to sleep if she does not catch this today. He thinks that in any case, she is quite stubborn about the strangest things. Well, anyway, he wonders what Dian Nuna meant when she said she was not the only one who was pent up. They cannot be satisfied with just one day of the week. When she said we, did she mean him and Nuna? She is still busy picking the doll while bending her posture. He still thinks that if that's not the case by Desol, she is happy as she has finally caught the doll. She says, "This is just hypothetical. If I told you we should temporarily stop having workouts, would you break up with me?" He answers all of a sudden, "Doesn't it mean you don't want to do it with me because I'm bad at it?" She angrily denies it. "No, it's not that," she says. "It's just that it's my first time dating someone. So, I wanted to take it slow. As for my first time, well, no matter who I chose, I made the decision thinking that I would have my first with someone I like. Well, I guess it's a weird way to look at things, but that's because dating is dating." He says that she was hoping they could go slowly, step by step. She asks, "How about it?" He thinks, standing behind her. That is what she said. But she says slowly, slowly. Turning around in anger, she asks, What? All of a sudden, that scared me." He thinks that he just did it unconsciously. She asks, "Why did you touch me so suddenly?" He answers, "Because you look especially pretty today." "What, the you're a bad pervert," she says. He raises his hands, "Miss by Desol, I'll take responsibility, just calm down." She becomes happy, holding her doll in her arms and says, "You were amazing. Seriously. How did you get it in one go?" Joining her and moving out of the gaming area, he says, I was responsible for it, right? She replies, right? You're totally right, he says. I'll give you a compliment, you did very well. That compliment would have been nice to hear before you hit me, he adds. Well, I guess it's not like I didn't do something to incite it, though. She excuses herself. Sorry. I'm really sorry. I just lost my temper at that moment. But I promised that I would be buying popcorn and drinks instead. So, don't be mad. She becomes happy, he thinks. Is she really pent up? He puts his hand on her head and says, I'll let it go if you had buttered squid and roasted chestnuts. She is not, as he expected. He thinks that she has mentioned several times that she genuinely wants to take it slow. Is that just a choice? Or if he has a conscience, so expensive? He replies, should I add a sparkling drink too? Let's just continue the date without unnecessarily touching you. There is a display board for cinema number 6 playing. Both of them sit on the left-sided seats. Gorilla grunts and hits the other monsters. Desol becomes emotional seeing the scene. While watching the movie, Desol leans over his shoulder and falls asleep. He asks, by Desol. She replies slowly. He asks, excuse me, but what are you? She replies, what do you think? Can't you tell? He says, no. That's why I'm asking. Desol tells him that if he doesn't know, then just ignore it and keep watching the movie quietly, he thinks. How does she expect him to ignore this? What Dian said before, she must be referring to Desol as well. Desol sleeps again. He asks angrily, didn't we agree we wouldn't do that thing for a while? She sneaks a look with one eye, asking, that thing? What are you talking about? He says he's talking about working out. Also, the term workout wouldn't refer to what they are doing right now, but what he and his sister were doing earlier that afternoon, especially on a day when they were supposed to meet. He asks in confusion. How did she know? She says, did you think I wouldn't? No, even when your whole body reeks of her perfume. She says that she might not really have a say in what the two of them do, but she requests that, if possible, not to do that on her days. She says that if he really cannot bear it, she will help him relax herself. If he needs extra stimulus, she will even let him touch her hand. They cannot have a workout, but that much is okay. He thinks that she is already making him touch her. Wait a minute, he asks, by Desol, be honest. It's not that you want to help me, but it's you who wants comfort, right? She pulls away and says, are you crazy? Doing something like that in a public place? He says, you're the one who leaned close and acted that way. He tells her not to worry. There aren't that many people in the theater. She shrieks, saying that she already told him they cannot have a workout. Does he think he can focus on the movie now? As strangers pass by them, she exits. Desol and Youngho also move out of the theater. Desol is wondering, was she seen? Have they been seen? He asks. Are you okay? She replies angrily. Am I okay? If it was you, would you be okay? She says that if they were lucky, they'd be reported to the cops and taken away. He replies that he's telling her she didn't see anything and just left when she was passing by. He kept watching her just in case, but she left without turning around, went back to her seat, and sat down. So, don't worry. She didn't see anything. She says, isn't that you being too optimistic? What if they were caught on camera or something? He says, are you serious? Do you think I'd sit still and do nothing? Even if I end up coming off as some idiot, I'll make sure to protect you. I'll always protect my woman. She asks, really? You and your silver tongue? If you hadn't gotten so excited and jumped on me, none of this would have happened in the first place. He calms her by putting his hand on her hair. He pulls her cheeks and says, at least say it like this, weren't you the first one to start touching and teasing? She shrieks madly and asks, are you crazy? Why are you touching me without my permission? There wasn't time to put everything back on, and it would be uncomfortable in this condition. So right now, she has no undergarments. She asks, what are you doing so suddenly? He asks, could it be you're not satisfied yet? Should we continue where we left off? She says, you want to do this here? Are you crazy? What if someone comes? He says, there's still about an hour left until the movie ends, so no one should come. He continues, after getting me all worked up. Now you want to stop just because you finished earlier. You're done after enjoying it by yourself. She says she gets it, she will be there for him later when they get back home. He says he can't wait that long. Truthfully, neither can she, right? But still, earlier they agreed they wouldn't do anything for a while. He asks excitedly, just once, let's do it one last time today. And then we won't do anything starting tomorrow. Only once, with the feeling that it's our last time. Starting tomorrow, nothing. He confirms. She replies, what am I going to do with you, Sin Youngho? How did I end up doing something like this outside? They start getting close again. He asks, I'm asking you before we begin, just in case, but if you say you want more, is it okay for me to go again? She sighs and asks, what are you saying? Holding her tight, he thinks seriously she is the type that would hurt to lose again. Exactly how much was she holding back? That's all he wonders if she knows. He says that if she keeps making those loud noises, someone might hear her. She okay with that? During their intense moment, she asks Yongho, how many times did you meet with Uni? He asks today. Let me see. How many? Why are you suddenly asking me that? She says, tell me. Well, he says, let's see. I don't remember the exact number. Maybe 3 times. She is amazed to hear 3 times. She asks, why am I suddenly confused? Including just now. That would make it 4. He thinks maybe she's feeling conflicted since he had already spent time with someone else, so then it probably wouldn't be possible to continue again today. He tells her, not really. It's not that I can't. Then, since today they are already spending time together, they'll end things after one more try. Just once, she asks. She smiles and says, one more than my sister. If she asks to change it to that instead, it's an apartment building. Even when they were taking the taxi back on the way, she kept touching him so that he would be ready as soon as they got home. He thinks, did she really want to spend time together that badly? Lying on the bed, he says, if I tell you not to, will you stop? Why did you tell me you didn't want to when you actually did? There is no response from her. She says, what are you doing? Let go. He says, I'm not letting go until you answer me. Why were you holding yourself back if you were feeling that way? He asks, shall we end it here? Then she admits, that's right, I really wanted to spend time with you. Why? He asks. She says that she worked hard to hold herself back. What about it? Desol says that Sola told her men get tired of her easily if she keeps asking to spend time together. Sola was the culprit, he says. He says he'll have to talk to her. She thought, I get tired of you, right? I can't leave things as they are. I'll show you how sincere I really am. He says he'll be so committed that from now on she won't be able to think otherwise. She agrees and says she understands how sincere he is. Desol asks him to wait one more time than what I did with Dian, right? Honestly, he says. The number of times with Dian wasn't 3, it was 5. He laughs and says, then we'll have to keep going to surpass that number. There in the apartment, he has already been through so much, but somehow he's still full of energy.
A few inches later.
Instant noodles and sauce are placed on the dining table. He says, it should be done soon. Hari comes back after her shower, drying her hair with a towel. Both of them open drinks, relax, and start eating instant noodles. He says, it tastes so good to eat after a workout, both the alcohol and the ramen. Today was really the best. He asks her, why aren't you eating? Didn't you say you were hungry? She replies, it's just, you're so full of energy even after all that. It's kind of amazing. He says, honestly, I didn't think I had it in me either. Maybe it's because of that herbal medicine mom gave me. He jokes that he might even be able to keep going for 1 or 2 more rounds. Well, anyways, he adds, do you believe me a little more now? Believe you about what? She asks. How sincere my feelings are, he says. She rolls her eyes. Enough of that nonsense, focus on your ramen. It's going to burn. Wasn't it good though? She smiles. Of course it was good. You gave me so much affection. How could I not believe you? She continues. If I didn't believe you, I wouldn't have ended up in this weird relationship from the beginning. She thinks to herself that if she had said more, he would have just started bragging again. Better to keep that part to herself. She says aloud, it was fun. From now on, you can do it whenever you feel like. He asks, you're not worried I'll get bored of you from spending too much time together? She replies, then how about we take a short break? Just like that. His date with Desol came to an end, and 3 days passed. The market sparkled under the night sky. Tonight, he was meeting with Dayun's sister. Standing in the middle of the road, he thinks it's Monday, right? Didn't Dayun's sister suggest we all meet up outside? If this were any usual day, she might have said something like that. Well, that's fine, maybe she just wants a bit of fresh air. He notices Mina walking by with her boyfriend. He is amazed to see Mina going with a guy. He wonders who the guy next to her is. Not too long ago, Mina came to the cafe on the first floor with a man. Desol says that she was just wondering if he knew. Yongho thinks, perhaps. Is he the man that Desol talked about back then? Is he her new boyfriend? No. Let's not worry about it. Didn't he decide to completely forget about her after he got discharged from the army? He clenches his fist in anger. thinking that it would not look good for him if he goes up to them for no reason. Song Mina. Although he knows things would get ugly if he talked to her. He puts his hand on her shoulder to divert her attention. He says, "Let me ask you one thing." But still, he would really like to know why she dumped him that time. She angrily turns back and asks, "What is your deal? Who are you to touch someone else's shoulder?" Young-ho wonders, a different person. Her boyfriend asks, "Nuna, do you know him? Perhaps an ex?" No. He knows that his baby is the only one for Nuna. Young-ho bends down in regret and says, "I'm sorry." She asks her boyfriend, "Baby, were you shocked? Nuna will buy you melon." "Shaved ice," he replies. "Can I have more condensed milk?" She says, "Of course, you can. You can have all the condensed milk you want." Young-ho thinks that this is embarrassing. He should have just stayed in his place. Dian, squatting on the road in front of Odia Coffee, appears. He is shocked to see her. He asks, "Dian, Nuna, when did you get here?" She replies, "Just now." She asks, "What did you do wrong that you're apologizing like that? Did you bump into her shoulder?" "No, it's nothing." He thinks, did Dian Nuna not see what happened? He asks her, "Nuna, you tied your hair up." She replies, "My hair was strangely messy today. So is it weird?" He says, "I don't think so. It looks good on you." He thinks that seeing her with her hair tied up makes him feel like he's seen her before he went to the military. She adores his compliment. He asks, "By the way, what's up with you, Nuna? Did you want to meet outside? Do you perhaps have something you would like to eat? Where do you want to go?" She replies, "Here is Lux Motel." He asks, "Is it all right, Nuna? Meeting outside?" But going straight into a motel, she asks him, "Why? Don't you want to do it here?" He replies, "No. I thought you wanted to ask me out on a date outside. If this was going to happen, I don't think we had to come all the way here." She chuckles and says, "Meeting here is closer from the school than home. Don't you think? And I prefer playing inside rather than outside, as expected." He asks her, "Aren't you hungry?" She replies, "Rather than food, I'm hungry for you, Young-ho. These past few days, we've been so busy that we haven't seen each other. Maybe because of that, I could only think of you once I saw your face." Young-ho hasn't saved up for today's. Did he tell Nuna that he did it with by Desol? She says that if it's too hard for him, he doesn't have to do it. She tells him that she has been waiting for days for today. Though, if he suddenly says he can't do it, she may get angry. He asks, "Who are you talking to right now?" He is also confident in his stamina now. She knows. What on earth would she expect that she got this excited? Is she a pervert, Nuna? She regrets and asks, "Do you just like having a weird girlfriend like me?" He replies, "No. If I had to say whether I like it or not, it's definitely a yes." The system window shows the top one. Girlfriend that Shin Young-ho would like to meet. A girlfriend. Who says she's been so greedy today? It's a straight line. He says, "I see. So, you did it at school without anyone knowing." She tells him, "Don't imagine it." He asks, "Perhaps you can show me how and what you did alone at school." Dian Nuna. Does she not hear him? She shrieks, "Why would you want to see that, pervert?" He replies, "Obviously, it's because I'm your boyfriend. I want to stop my girlfriend's naughty side. I want to see it all. You promised. Now you can keep that promise." "I kept mine back then." She says, "This is embarrassing. But a promise is a promise." A trolley bag, along with a hand. Carrie is on the floor first. The mother of the girls says, "So he is Biano. He has grown a lot since I last saw him." She tells him that she is his mom's friend, Yoni. This will be the room he will use until he goes to the military. She stops her daughters and says she already cleaned it up, so he can just go and unpack. Her daughters come out of the apartment carrying parcels and some other things. She says that these are her daughters behind her and tells him not to hesitate to ask them anything. If there's something he does not know, he greets them by saying, "Hello, hello." He thinks that they are quiet. He guesses they won't greet him back. 3 years ago was his first meeting with the sisters, by Dian and by Desol. He thinks that their expressions are no joke. Did he do something wrong? It was not that great. Desol says, "Anyway, I'm gonna go since we're done here. From now on, Mom should get the new tenants to clean their own rooms, all right?" Her mother rebukes her. She says, "Sorry, Bianho. She's not usually like that. She's being unusually irritable today." He replies, "It's all right. She's right." Anyway, he says that he will finish up the cleaning since he will be using the room. He thinks, did she just turn her head because we made eye contact? Their mother, accompanying her daughters, moves back. She says, "Anyways, if anything happens, you can just come find me in the room just above yours." Bianho agrees and says, "Yes, ma'am." Her mother asks Dian to walk with her back straight. He thinks that the younger sister walks awkwardly. The older sister seems really shy, and by the looks of it, she seems like the frustrated type. He guesses there's no reason for them to get close. This was his first impression of the sisters. He did not imagine that they would become like this back then. Play easier to understand. Not everyone knows what inkling means. He thinks. That seriously, others truly know. Same goes here. Not everyone knows what earnestly means. If it's too much for her to do it by herself, then he can do it with her. It has been 1 month since he entered a relationship with the Bai sisters. They are at a luxury motel in the city center. He thought the two of them would have similar personalities or habits, since they are sisters, but he couldn't have been more wrong. He thinks that her insights feel like her sisters, but Desol, who he thought would be the assertive type, can generally be considered passive like this.